Kenyans now know 17 billion that was paid from the exchequer was payments for fuel subsidy incurred under the previous government. In the last supplementary budget that we passed in this house only 3 weeks ago, we paid another 4 billion shillings. And it's not subsidy incurred by this government. So, Honorable Speaker, when we say out there, we are carrying the burdens from the past. There are those who tell us, oh, don't point fingers at others. We are not pointing fingers. We are stating facts as they are. You put our country and our economy into a very deep hole and a ditch that we are cleaning up your mess. Give us peace and space to clean up your mess without shouting and making a lot of noise. Please give us space. Please. Even those who are yesterday telling us to put money. Honorable Speaker, you know, I heard somebody telling us to put money in the political parties fund, 6 billion shillings, Honorable Speaker. At a time Kenyans in the north are marooned by floods. The Azimio coalition, all they can do is ask for money to hold rallies and hold caucuses, political party caucuses, into the political parties fund. I support what this house did in cutting funds to the political parties fund and taking that money to the people of the north who are living without food, who are living without medicine after being cut out by floods, Honorable Speaker. It is a height of irresponsibility with leadership to be asking for money to buy bread and tea and mandazis at some place somewhere in Lavington or Capitol Hill, Honorable Speaker, at the expense of Kenyans. Yet, when you speak in funerals, you are telling us, oh, the cost of living. How do you bring down the cost of living? By putting money in the political parties fund to go and fund your political activities. We need to be honest with each other. We need to look at each other like I'm looking at the Honorable Dr. Nyikal and tell each other the truth, that we are not helping this country by playing politics with the dire situation of our economy. And we're not even bold enough to tell the Kenyan people that the cost of living is where it is, largely because of missteps of the last regime that we were cheering on, because we had what was infamously called a handshake. God forbid that those things of handshake will ever set foot in this country again. You remember we had a mongrel, Honorable Speaker, of a system of government that was called handshake, where there was no government, there was no opposition, nobody knew. In fact, Honorable Speaker, I am glad that we transformed ourselves, even as with very derogatory terms, they refer to us as tanga-tanga and other derogatory terms. We transformed ourselves into an opposition that kept them on their toes. But even as we did that, they still had the guts to steal 6 billion shillings 2 days before an election. And today they can tell us about... Anyway, Honorable Speaker, let me leave it there. Thank you.
Chair delegated legislation.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just before I read what I'm delegated to do, it's very important to actually comment on the statement made by Honorable Kimani Korea, Chairperson of the Finance Committee. It is extremely important to understand what is happening in the country and the deliberate efforts the government is taking to ensure that we stabilize this country and the economy of this country. I just want to make reference to what Honorable Ichungwa has said about the political parties fund, which really is largely overfunded. For what reason? We have no idea. Especially a time like now, when we have to string ourselves because we got a myriad of problems in the country, including the phenomenon, the catastrophe of El Nino. And then here we are with a political parties fund having 1.4 billion. Finance committee, budget committee, the House did a wonderful thing to actually reallocate that money to more pressing issues and the more pressing needs for this country. And that is the way to go, and there is no other way to go.
Honorable Murungara, you have made that comment now.
Back to my delegation now.
Matter for the delegated
yes.
legislation.
Honorable Speaker, I make this statement on behalf of Honorable Chepkonga Kiprono Samuel, CBS MP, Chairperson